Hi everybody, this is Odd Samura, and today I'm gonna be reviewing or discussing the Chainsaw Man movie for the Reze arc. Oh, I oh, I can't wait to talk about specific stuff. But yeah, if you see me looking over here a lot, it's because I have just a list of bullet points of pretty much everything that I want to talk about. So hopefully it won't be as scattershot as usual, but it's me, so it probably will be. Also, I went to the movie theater on a well, yeah, I did a decent job, I'd say, on cosplaying Kobeni, and I'll put a picture over here. So, yeah, it was fun. Although, no one else was cosplaying, so I guess I was the only cool one. But anyway, okay, so let's start with just overall impressions. So, already, I'm just gonna say I loved it. Now, um, yes, it was better in every way than season one, but the thing is, though, I like okay, I do have two nitpicks, and I'll talk about them when I get to them. But I just like literally okay, I have it as a 9 out of 10 right now. Like I'm not one of those people who are like, "Oh my god, this was life-changing. It was amazing. I loved it." But like to me, everything that's going to happen in when we get season 2, that to me will be like masterpiece level in terms of content, because to me the Rese arc is like one of the weaker arcs. I still think it's really good, but it's definitely not like, controlling gun arcs together. So yeah, I'm saving the 10 for when we get season 2. That's literally the only reason. So yeah, like animation, direction, music, voice acting, sound effects. Oh my god, everything was so much more than I wanted from season one. Like it just feels so much um, like the vibe I got when reading the manga. Honestly, I'd say it's even better. Like I think I prefer uh, watching the movie than reading this arc. And I say that as someone who's like a very Chainsaw Man manga purist. So yeah, animation stunning. Whether it was for action or for just slow character acting or comedic moments. Oh my god, they nailed the comedic moments. Like that was one of my biggest issues with season one. Is like because they went with a like live action movie type of feel. It just everything felt like you know uh like they were, I don't want to say ashamed of trying to be goofy with that, with the way that Fujimoto draws expressions for comedy, but and it wasn't just comedy. Like for big emotional moments, like when Aki cries, I also felt like they held back in season one. It just felt like they animated him to like cry pretty, when in the manga you just feel it so raw and his emotions are so unfiltered. But yeah, okay, comedy. It was great. I love the exaggerated nature that they do for uh, especially Beam and Denji. But yeah, animation for the action, just amazing. Like, literally, only thing that I was like, oh man, I wish I was watching by myself in my room because then I would be more comfortable saying out loud, "Yo, oh my God, this is amazing." The colors, yo, the direction that they went with the colors, it's so it's so much more creative and uh, just very like it pops, and it just draws your eye to it. Music, Keisuke Oshio knocked it out of the park again. Voice acting, I think everyone was pretty good, but I'd say Denji, like he was already really good in season one, but he got great here. I think the name of the VA is Toya Kikunosuke. Reina Ueda was great as well. Like the way that she plays Reze when it's still, just very mellow and playful scenes with Denji as they're getting to know each other. That's pretty much exactly how I would have expected her to sound. But when she goes into killer mode and sings the song, or when she's fighting, that I did not expect. She always sounds like very, well, almost all the time, very like demure and like she doesn't want to do this, especially when singing. It almost felt like she was about to cry, and I did not expect that. I envisioned her to be sounding very like uh, stoic and almost robotic, but the way that she was voiced really highlighted how sympathetic she is. Like, just every time that she's like, please just hand over Denji. I'd rather not kill more than I have to. Like, you can really feel how much she doesn't want to do this. Like when she sighs and she feels tired. Like, oh, very, very good. Another highlight would probably be um, Beam, honestly. Like, at first, I remember way back when when we got the announcement that Natsuki Hanai was gonna be doing Beam. I was like, I don't know. But he does just Beam's very uh, upbeat and over the top personality so well. And I think that's part of what made me attached to Beam a lot more when watching. Sound effects, honestly, the ones that stuck with me the most were the ones used for comedic sequences, like Denji and Beam specifically, just bouncing around after Reze hit them, or maybe it was the Typhoon Devil, and they're just like bouncing around on the top of a building. You just hear this wacky sound effect. It's so good. Okay, so see, I knew I was gonna be rambling just from first impressions. So the first scene already, I was so like, oh my goodness, we're in for cinema. And that's that they basically reanimated um Danger's dream of the door. And the way that it's done, it's I keep saying amazing, but it is. It's black and white in the uh, I forget, like there's like black bars on the sides for I was gonna say horizontally, but no, actually it's vertical. And it just, the only thing I can think of that it reminds me of is like the first episode of Uzumaki. That's how it felt. It basically felt like the manga moving. The way that little Denji's character design looked, it's a straight up like uh, the manga panels in motion. It's crazy. And you know, the post credits scene also has that I forget what it's called, but you know what you know, the freaking black bars. So it really does signal like, you know, a very clear starting point and ending point of this arc. And then we have the opening, which I'm glad that I refrained from watching until actually watching the movie. It's so fun. And I really appreciate that it's in a similar vein to ending 12 in regards to like you can like it's basically, you know, happening in the story itself. You know, like Power wakes up and then Aki notices the horns are very big and she has two more. And then in the opening, we see them actually having to drag her to Makima. And it's, yeah, and then we have like a little dream sequence from Denji. It's so cool. And then we have Denji and Reze meet, and I really like the lighting that it's used there, and it's just the way that it's kind of slow paced really works, you know, to really feel how Denji is like basically struck by the first meeting and being like, oh, this is a really pretty girl. Which, you know, we get the gag of him basically reaching the cafe before she does. And of course, the sequence of her getting to the cafe is mirrored at the end of the arc with a very different outcome. We have Angel and Aki. I'm gonna go all the way to the scene where they kill the devil. And there's a devil hunter that's still alive, and Aki has to kill it. And the lighting in that scene, like it's all red. That's so good. That's the kind of thing I wanted to see more in season 1. Sorry, I'm probably being annoying about this, but you know, those are my feelings. And yeah, it's basically set up for Angel having a scene later when he's gonna be merciful and kill a person that is dying during the big climactic battle. So I don't think it's necessarily character development. I think Angel was just, you know, uh, being a fake I don't give a fucker in this scene. And then once Aki doesn't have his eye on him, he's like, okay, I can act like I actually feel, which is I don't want to see people suffer. Then the swimming scene between Reze and Denji, so good. The music for it, I'll have to. I mean, I'm gonna go and listen to every OST from the movie anyway, but that one is one of the highlights for me. And just the way that it's done, I'm pretty sure they added more to it than it was in the manga. But yeah, I love the I want to say grandiose feel of it, and just Like it feels more dramatic and more, I don't know, like melancholic. But that's me. I didn't really hold a lot of this stuff from this arc that highly, so I feel like everything from that just got elevated. Then we get the kiss. Well, first to the festival, actually. I love the way that they adapted that. It really did feel exactly how I expected it to be and wanted it to be. It feels so like ethereal and dreamlike. Then we get the kiss. Well, first we get Reze being like, "Why don't you run with me?" And then she basically describes Aki in power, and for the reason that he doesn't want to go. And Reze says like, "Oh, there's gotta be a girl, and that's what's making you hesitate or reject me." So that's interesting. That she just would not at all consider seriously that Denji has friends that he wouldn't want to abandon and would want to keep that connection. She just jumps to the conclusion that, oh, that's just bullshit. So that adds to Rese's psychology there, that she's never had a friend or family. And then she kisses him from like jealousy. And from with the manga, it's just like a panel or two of it, but the way that it prolongs in the movie, it definitely made me uncomfortable, which I feel was the intention. Then we get the music and the candy apple in the festival dropping, which I think it symbolizes Denji's hope and just innocent feelings in regards to Reze just being completely crushed and uh, well, dirtied as the music gets super like chaotic. And we see that Reze has cut off his tongue, well, bit it off. And then she kisses him again, and even though she's like, yeah, well, I'll take your heart now, it's like, she says it with such like gentleness. It's definitely something, because obviously she's not giving him a choice to give her the heart or to kiss him again. But it's definitely something that Reze is thinking, well, might as well do it. I'll never be able to do something like this again, but also I think it comes from a genuine desire to not be overly cruel to Denji, and that's the way it manifests within her. Then we get Beam showing up and saving Denji, and I really like how this is the first time we have Reze offering someone to, if you leave Denji here, I'll let you live. But of course, Best Bro Beam wouldn't do that, so he doesn't. Then we have Aki interacting with Nomo in the Division 2, which I like. It gives quite a bit of like, just furthering Aki's world, and that is not just Power and Denji and Makima. Then we have the Angel combo with like when he tells Aki, like, I know that you only have 2 years to live. The power told me. I think, pretty sure that's what he says. And also, like, this movie makes wonders for the Angel and Aki dynamic for me, because I've always liked them, but I never, like, loved them. But this really made me feel for them. And this is the start of how significant the relationship is gonna be for both of them. Like, already we have Angel knowing this very crucial information about Aki that he'd rather keep secret. And he's the only one outside of power who knows. So, yeah. Then we have Reze attacking Division 2. And here's my first nitpick. And that is that I don't think it was as creepy as it's portrayed in the manga when she shows up. Specifically when Nomo is trying to figure out where he knows her from. Which I'm still like, the only thing I can guess is that he saw her at the cafe, or maybe he saw her at like a newspaper or TV when the children that were made spies and trained by the Soviet government was huge news back in, the day. But yeah, that scene, and then when she's like running without her head towards Nomo, I feel like that could have been done more effective in regards to how in the manga it straight up looks like something out of a horror story. So I don't know, maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe make it black and white. But yeah, I don't know how it would make it better. More in line with the manga. Then once again, we see Reze's just willingness rather to let people leave if they hand her Denji over. So yeah, that's just me forgetting that, honestly. But yeah, it really contributes to, despite how she's been trained to be this cruel and unfeeling assassin, she still rather not kill people she doesn't have to. Oh, and then my second nitpick is the way that Hawatari ni Yokusenti is used as an insert song. If you don't remember what that is, it's season 1's ending 3 by Maximum the Hormone. Like, I just felt like, yeah, I get it, right? They wanted it to feel diegetic with Aki, like, messing with the radio, and then that's where the song comes in. But I always envisioned Denji's monologue about how, every woman he meets eventually wants to kill him, Everyone wants Chainsaw Man's heart, but what about Denji's? I wanted some, like, bittersweet or sad music over it, instead of, his theme, basically. And I would have rather that the song started when Reze says, I'm going to teach you how to battle. And then, the song is playing as they fight. I just didn't want it when they're talking. But that's, my second and last nitpick. And while I really love the animation of all the girls that have tried to kill Denji, once again, I'm reminded that season 1, erased completely the muscle devil. And the movie continues with that, obviously. But man, I'll always be someone who vouches for that the chapter 2 should have been adapted completely. mm, oh yeah, the animation after that, especially uh, the impact of the bombs every time that Reze uses them, it's 10 out of 10. The visual for Aki using Future Devil when he's fighting Reze, so good. I love the colors for that. The Beam and Denji a scene when they're like, okay, how do you use the chains more effectively? It's so funny. I think it might be the funniest scene in the movie, but I think there's some violence scenes that rival it. And he's like, oh shit, you're way stronger than I thought. Let's go, Koini. Anyway, as I was saying, the violence the scenes are pretty fun, especially with the Kaweni one and the one he has with Aki and Reze. But the animation, the way that it looked so goofy and so over the top, between him and Denji, as Denji reaches the conclusion that he has to ride him with his chains, I think it tops it for me. Then we have the iconic Aki Angel scene where Angel is about to get swept by the Typhoon Devil. And Aki is grabbing to him by his shirt. And then he, well, Angel, Aki can't, just cannot keep holding on to him like that. So he lets go for a second. And the way that's done is so good. Had me teary eyed. And then the way that we have that very quick but amazingly done visual of Angel's memory of his lover back in the island where he was first born. And then we have Aki grabbing his hand. It's so, so good. As we have Aki saying, I don't want to lose anyone else. I love Aki so much. And Angel complements him so well. Then we have Beam and Denji versus Typhoon Cinema, which, oh my goodness, the animation on that. The way that speed is conveyed, the way that we had like first person view shots for it. I mean, we had other ones in the movie, but the ones in particular here are super fun. And the colors, when they managed to defeat the Typhoon Devil, I think are like a homage to the first volume of, the manga. And that's so, so cool. And I just think that, throughout the movie, they actually like really remind me of how the color manga is done. And I think they took a metaphorical page out of it and really said, oh, you thought that we didn't use enough colors or that season 1 looked dull. Well, not anymore. We're doing it here. So yeah, that looked stunning. And yeah, I went back and the fight against the Typhoon Devil was like literally 2 pages. So the way it was extended, it was magnificent. Then we have the last stand. Well, first we have Reze taking out Beam. Oh man, poor Beam really had it rough in this movie. And then we had the last stand between her and Denji. And I also really liked how they made this scene of him tying her against himself so dynamic and just a lot more of an action piece. And then we have uh, Denji is thinking with her, and we have all the flashes of her teaching him how to swim. And I love the way they did that. Like, it's there in the manga too, but it's just more memorable in here. Then we have the beach scene. I love the colors. I keep saying that, but I do. And there's a specific shot when, like, most of the screen is the sand, and at the very top is Reze, Denji, and Beam. I love that one. And just the way that they frame it, it feels very much like they did a wonderful job showing what Reze was feeling, even if she did her best to not make it obvious. Then we have the only scene with Kishibe in the movie, but I was so hyped to see him and hear Suzuki Kenjiro's voice. But then we have the last scene. Reze waiting for the train, and she doesn't get on it. She instead goes back, and we get that same sequence of her going to the cafe. And as she gets very close to it, she almost kinda starts jogging because of how desperate and eager she is of get to it and see Denji and escape with him. And then Makima shows up. And that whole scene, it just, it hit me emotionally. It's, but specifically the line, the way that it's delivered, when she thinks, I also didn't go to school, Denji. That got me teary-eyed too. I just Reze in general as a character. I feel that I got a lot more appreciation and attachment to her because of this movie. So, yeah. Also, what Makima says about, like, I have a friend, who has like a farm or something, and the mice there get exterminated. Like, we all know she doesn't have friends. So who the hell could she be talking about? I'm thinking of a certain fire hybrid, but I won't say more because I want to keep it, I'll just say that hint in case anime onlys are watching. But yeah, and then we have the post-credit scene with Power and Denji. Actually, the way the actual movie, ends right before the credits with Angel being like, I wonder, if I can enjoy being a city mouse. Wonderful. Wonderfully tragic. But yeah, the post credits with Power and Denji, it was interesting because, it reads more as comedic in the manga, whereas this it feels more melancholic, I'd say, especially with, how we keep going back and forth between Power looking at Denji and Denji just not really paying attention or not wanting to acknowledge her. And I think this is basically, to me anyway, I read this as Denji, for the time being, giving up on liking any girl that isn't Makima and focusing on Power and Aki as his family and putting them as, a priority. After getting his heart broken by Reze, he was like, okay, I guess this is it, huh? I guess I got power, and that's, you know, that's a friend right there that I can at least lean with and keep going with. That I won't get any hopes up of anything happening. That will, you know, that will be a constant that I can just find comfort in. Which, yeah, the more I keep thinking about it, the more it hurts. But yeah, that was the movie. Uh, I really thought I was just gonna talk like 20 minutes, but you know me and how I yap. So yeah, hopefully I talked about everything that I wanted to, but I'm sure that I could have missed something that I really liked, but didn't. Honestly, you know what? Let's shout out Nomo and Vice Captain. They were so badass, and the movie made them so likable. Whoever voice acted them also did a really good job of making them just, you know, a more memorable too. So yeah, anything else? I mean, I already praised so much the use of colors in the animation. I think this is it. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.